Fellas, we've got to have a great practice today. There's no other option. We've got 17 weeks, we strap it up and we get better each week.
Let's go! Get the plan! We good! 132! Fight up! Ready! 30 base! Come on, set! 10, Lobo! Ready! Set, hut! 10, touch scared! Ready, go! Down! 60 Pittsburgh! Hut, go! Got it! Hut, hut! Here we go! 15 Lonnie, 15 Lonnie. Set! 60 outlaw! Ready, ready! Ready, ready! 60 orange! Say go! Here we go! Set! 91! Set up! Okay? Right! Hut!
Hey, you know what, men? That was pretty dang good. And you know what's really scary? It gets me even more excited? We're only scratching the surface of our potential. This team has so much talent. So just keep pushing. Keep pushing.
Hey, everybody, it's the coach. This is preseason football.
We are sandwiched between Fort Worth and Dallas, Texas, and Arlington at the luxurious AT&T Stadium. Tonight, it's a preseason matchup between the Houston Texans and the Dallas Cowboys. This will be fielded at the 6. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Texans offense heading out, and it's Deshaun Watson leading the way, the third-year man out of Clemson. Last year, 26 touchdowns, 9 interceptions, but the big number for the Texans, he was sacked a league-high 62 times. They'll try to do better in this one. Now a first-time Pro Bowler from a year ago, Lamar Miller. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Lamar Miller, 72 yards, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. They're the question, and when they score like that on the opening drive to set the tone, you're the underdog on the other bench. That's hard, isn't it?
Yeah, because you can't bring the home crowd into it, because you're counting on that to be a part of your equalizer, ride their momentum, but you have to give them something to cheer for. So now what you're worried about is they're better than we are. We can't get going. Are we about to get blown out?
Good news, still a long way to go. So here now the Cowboy offense onto the field to get their first crack at it. And leading them, Charles, their quarterback, their field general.
And what I enjoyed watching this week when we had a chance to watch them at practice, the easy camaraderie that he has with his offense.
A lot of respect.
A lot of respect, and frankly, I thought it spilled over to the defense. The defensive guys were coming over and teasing and joking with him. You can tell they respect the heck out of him and really want to play well for him. He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They'll run it now out of the gun. And this one also slow in developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that. And the Texans have an extra defender in the secondary now on 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Sims. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Tashawn Gibson. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. Well, certainly not how he wanted to start his night. First throw of the game, an INT.
Yeah, it's not easy, but he's got to try and wipe that one away from the memory banks. And let's face it, it's not often a quarterback and a defensive back have a lot in common. But one thing, because they have these individual type plays, they've got to have short memories, don't they? DB gets beat, wipe it away, quarterback throws a pick, has to do the same thing.
Back in the end zone, could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete. And let's take a look at the Texans offense.
And we expected to have already talked about this unit. We didn't get a chance to hit on them on the opening drive because they scored so quickly. But that's the kind of unit this is. A quick strike offense. I expect to see them taking their shots all game long. And if that's the case, we'll find ways to talk about this group.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. From the gun, here's Watson. Finding Fells complete. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Darren Fells, 28 yards. And the Texans push further out in front. They've got to be thrilled on the road right now. Touchdown, turnover, touchdown, and quickly trying to make it 14-0.
Yeah, and mentioned it already. On the road, to be able to go into someone else's house and establish a start like that, obviously your confidence rises in a big way, and you're putting some doubt in their minds.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. They'll run it now out of the gun. 2 yards, good enough for a first. These two teams in the battle for the Lone Star State met last year as well. That was a good one. Went to overtime in Houston, 19-16. The Texans would win it on a Kaimi Fairbairn field goal. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. You know, last week I remember asking you, what would an offensive coordinator be looking for week 2 of the preseason? Now we're in week 3. Defensive coordinator-wise, what's he looking at?
For the most part in preseason, you're playing pretty basic stuff, pretty vanilla defenses. You're looking for guys that play with abandon, that just go out and make plays and kind of let their athletic ability take over in order for you to notice them.
We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. That makes them now 0 for 2 here in the first quarter on third down conversions.
And now they'll look to their defense because they need them to step up so they don't fall further behind here in the early going.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. This is taken at the 15. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Heading out as the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. They'll run with Miller. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice...
DeAndre Hopkins, he's all alone. Touchdown, Houston. 2 first-quarter touchdown passes now for Deshaun Watson. And the Texans push further out in front. Boy, these guys are off to the races, Charles. 20-0 already, extra point pending.
Yeah, you always hear that term. They just boat race someone. Heck, it's car race, motorcycle race, plane race, whatever you want. Right now, they are sprinting past them.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And that makes the score 21-0. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Dallas offense now, heading back out onto the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
That play was well covered. Just tried to check it down. Unfortunately, not able to find any yardage on that one.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And take it right on the 30. It's a 45-yard punt, but a decent return there of 9 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Watson. And this one complete to Will Fuller. He's at the 30. 10. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Will Fuller, 61 yards. And the Texans push further out in front. Now, first quarter, and this lead is already getting into dangerous territory. They better be careful on the other sideline.
Yeah, it feels a little bit more like a basketball game where one team is pressing and that team can't get the ball over half court. I mean, it is stealing it and scoring it, layups, the whole deal. That's what it feels like right now. They are all over them.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. Typically down in the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive. But they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains. An entertaining start to this one. More to come on EA Sports. Now they try the right side here. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jadeveon Clowney showing the explosiveness on the sack. And when you go 5 wide like they just did there, you can't really max protect, can you?
No, you cannot. What you're hoping is that by going 5 wide, you're forcing the defense into coverage. And if you do that, you get a chance to find some people downfield. But if they audible themselves and go into a blitz, then it's got to happen right now.
Or lights out.
Or exactly right. Turn them out. That play's over.
These offensive starters still out there in the second quarter. You would think the plans for them to at least play into the third quarter, if not all the way through it.
Yeah, it might go by feel. If they have a really good first drive to start the third quarter, they might pull them after that. If not, might leave them out there a little bit longer, but I'll guarantee this, they'll be gone by the start of the fourth quarter.
Deshaun Watson making his way back out. The focus of our player spotlight. He's enjoying a great deal of success. His team is also enjoying a great deal of success.
Yeah, he's got that nice little, what I call the QB lean going right now. You see that little stroll that he's got
swagger
going? Yeah, he's definitely got that. You see him throwing the football, the nice little video. He's seeing that in his...
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, let's see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Watson going to give this one to Miller. He takes this for 3 to the 29.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
It's a party now. It's a party now.
Watson to throw on 3rd and 1. And the throw there going to be incomplete. When they need to play on 3rd down, you kind of know what direction the ball is going, but the defense knew it too.
Yeah, it's a good call because they wanted to put 2 men on him, and they did. Dare him to throw into double coverage. Really what you're saying is, let's see if one of your other receivers can beat us.
It's a 4-yard return following a punt of 49. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. In second quarter, they're down big already. He's struggling as well. They've got to find something here. He's got to find something on this drive.
And sometimes you take on all that extra pressure on yourself, and maybe you have to disperse it a little bit. Lean on some other people, lean on your teammates, find someone who can take the pressure off and get the ball in their hands for a while.
Or this, if he doesn't, this is getting out of hand, or it could get worse. Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better, got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
From the gun on 3rd down. Sims. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. Now Deshaun Watson and his offense heading back out there. And how about the start so far, Charles? 3 first-half touchdown passes.
And that's how you generate excitement on a team. Keep your offense moving at a really high level. And it's also how you establish leadership, by playing that well. 3 touchdown passes, that's the way to lead.
Now he's just hoping for number 4. They'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar Miller. And he'll go down at the 26, following a gain of 6.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On 2nd down now, it's Miller. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Watson going to pull back the handoff and keep it himself. Watson throwing quickly to Hopkins. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Down, he's coming. Coming after you. I'm coming after you.
From the 40 now on 2nd down. Watson going deep. Oh, wide open. Complete. Touchdown, Houston. Deshaun Watson, 4 touchdown passes now in the ball game as his guys continue to pour it on. I know this defense knew it coming into the game, Charles, and they know it even more now. DeAndre Hopkins is a tough cover.
And anytime you see him out there and there's less than double or triple teaming him, take a shot with him. Just what you're talking about. If he's such a tough cover, one guy's not going to get it done. Throw the ball out there. Let him go get it.
On for the PAT, Kaimi Fairbairn. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. A 4-play drive spanning 80 yards, and it results in the Texans finding the end zone. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to balance that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 11 yards and a Cowboy first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Off the play fake. Sims. And incomplete. Crisis averted. Almost picked. Instead, 2nd down. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves them with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
I can't believe they let you play. I can't believe they even let you play.
And a give this time to the tailback. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down.
Another down on the scoreboard, but the urge to go for it is almost irresistible here on 4th and short. Yeah, I know they're on their own side of the field.
I was going to say.
Normally I would say punt the ball away, but I'm feeling it. I say go for it.
So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the 3rd quarter. our starters likely to be out there for the third quarter as we get back underway in this second half. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Out come the Cowboys now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Watch the run. Watch the run.
Off play action. Sims. His throw incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 11 yards and a Cowboy first down.
First downs have not come easy, and neither have runs like this throughout this game.
Absolutely not. He finally felt like, whoa, a sigh of relief. We got something going in the running game. Right back to him on first down. And he'll only get a yard, maybe 2, up to the 46.
But you know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. And it's still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down. As we surmise, Charles, most of the starting units still out there for this third quarter. First time this preseason that they played into the second half.
And that's by design. Most of the time by this point of the preseason, you want them to go into the half, cool down, and then come back out and warm up to start the third quarter like you would a regular season game. That's exactly what they wanted to get done.
It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. A run on first down, but it's not going to get him much. Maybe a yard, and that's all. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. And he'll give it here to his running back. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. Now play number 7 of this drive, but it's a tough 3rd and 9. From the gun, Sims, and that is incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice, an ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this score will stay right where it is. Well, I was watching him in warm-ups, and he 2-yarder that hit the crossbar and went over. This one a little bit inside of that, but not enough leg.
And the difference is what?
Well, your live conditions, right?
Live conditions, game conditions are a whole lot different than practice, where you just pop it up there, no rush, no pressure. I think maybe that takes a couple yards away from you when you have to do it when it's real.
They begin with a run by Miller. And he's got this one across midfield into Cowboy territory. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
On the jet sweep, here comes Fuller. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a third down. Play action for Miller. Now Watson going deep for... This is caught inside the 15. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. An excellent gain, 35 yards. What a game it's been for this duo.
They remind me of a good comedy team. They know how to play off of each other so well. No matter how one riffs, the other's right there to pick them off, and they are shredding them in this.
And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. From 13 yards out as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that, truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner. So that drive, 4 plays. And the result, a Houston touchdown. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This will be fielded at the 8th. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The offense for the Cowboys now working their way back onto the field. Now, they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. Hate to say it, but that play typifies what we've seen from this offense all game long.
Yeah, don't you think maybe you flip over your play sheet as the offensive coordinator and see the side that says try something different? You know, because this has not worked all game long. They continue to try and get it done. They've got to come up with something a little bit different. Try something special, something they haven't seen.
Anything to score a point. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Here's Sims. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And he's going to come up a few yards short of the first. They get him to the ground at the 37. They'll give him 8 on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. They'll try and run for it. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. It's a gain of 12, and the Cowboys pick up the first. Backed up where they were on this side of the field, that was a gutsy call.
A gutsy call that never should have happened. Not so much them going for it. That's their decision. But where's the defensive front? Where's the leverage? Where's the low man wins? Where's getting into the offensive backfield and spilling the play? How did they permit them to pick up a first down in that situation?
DJ Reader there on the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. Give him 10 there, good enough for a Cowboy first down.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
Here we go. 10-2 stop. Pick your game up. Hit it.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
Let's go, D, let's go. Hey, let's get there. Let's go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a loose football. And the Texans scoop it. He's got daylight. He's at the 50, 30, the 20. And he's in for the score. Touchdown, Texans. And he has great speed, defensive back speed. Once he got it and took off, there was no catching him.
And I know every team tells you to hustle no matter what the play, but there was no chance of catching him. Maybe if it had been a defensive tackle running with the ball, but not in this case.
Fairbairn good with the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Here's the Dallas offense now, heading back out onto the field. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points. You feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Back to you. I'm going back. Big Ripper.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. His carries tonight, they're getting up there, so maybe one of those every now and then is understandable.
I would agree with that. Understandable every now and then. Sometimes you come back and you fake it to him and go play action. But other times you say, okay, they got him on that one. We'll come back to him in another carry.
And an alley to run. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 13 yards and a first down, Cowboys.
Now that's how you start to get back in the good graces of your head coach. Remember, he fumbled on the last possession. How about the faith they showed him, giving him the ball again, and he repaid them, picking up a first down.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Firing quickly, but it's incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. They'll run it now out of the gun. And this play going to be stopped in its tracks at the 32, and obviously well short of the first down. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker.
A big rush by the Texans, and they block it. And they will wind up with the football and the possession. So much for pinning him really deep. Short punt could have pinned him inside the 10. Now great field position the other way.
It's never good when you're punting the ball and your eyes see the ball go back behind you.
No.
In however form, whether it's over your head or to the side, never good. Now it becomes a race to get to the football so they don't pick it up and take it all the way.
Recon, 132 fighter. Ready?
Now the backup, A.J. McCarron. That's caught. It's Thomas. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. A 20-yard touchdown as his guys continue to pour it on. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Let's go! Let's go!
And now Dallas gets set to take the field.
Set 90 Wolf. Here we go,
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 17 yards on the play there, and the Cowboys have a first down. Defensively, with this lead in the fourth quarter, I guess you can allow a run of that magnitude.
You're right about that, but really the focus has got to be, don't fall in love with the idea that you're getting big runs now. You're right. They're actually being allowed. They've got to think really hard about getting some chunk plays through the air, too.
From up near the 40 now after the big play to start. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll set up to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
Nice game there, partner, but you and I both know that won't do anything for the final score. They're not going to win this one. Right now, they're playing for pride and fantasy points.
And just to erase that goose egg, nobody wants to be shut out. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. And they got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more. Now they got to get to the line quickly. They'll run it now out of the gun. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. Another example of just a dominant performance by this defense.
Yeah, you hear all the time about teams that try to steal signals from the other side and try and learn their signs and their tendencies. It's almost like they got the answers to the exam the night before and were well prepared for this final.
Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. And for the second time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. From the left hash, it's an even 50-yard attempt. And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. And this score will stay right where it is. Well, a tough day for this offense continues. One of their best chances to get on the scoreboard there, couldn't do it.
Yeah, it's not looking like it's going to happen for them today, does it? I mean, opportunity after opportunity, play after play has gone against them the entire game. They probably feel a little bit like Schlep Rock, got that black cloud over their heads.
Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And checking the timeouts, they do have 2 defensively, but no real need to use them as they're not going to be able to stop the clock after that. They'll run it here. This is Deontay Foreman. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
You got 3 down.
They run again with Foreman. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go. So Houston going to come away here with the victory. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, Off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory.
yours. Ready. Here we go. Set. 91. Ready, go. Here we go. Here we go. 70 ending. Head go. Got it. Hut.
Gentlemen, achieving our goals starts right here on the practice field. I can't stress that enough. You all know we have lofty goals for this season. If you want to achieve those goals, we gotta raise our game. Today just wasn't good enough. So next practice, we have to be much better.
Hey, everybody, it's the coach. This is preseason football on EA Sports. We're just about set to get started, and this ought to be a good one between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Dallas.
Coach, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Lone Star State and the very mammoth AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. Tonight, it's a preseason matchup between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Dallas Cowboys. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the inline. The Buccaneers set to take over. Jameis Winston at the controls. And it's a big season forthcoming for the #1 overall pick back in 2015. If you look at the numbers, just 21-33 as a starter during his tenure. But the hope now is that renowned quarterback whisperer Bruce Arians can breathe some new life into him in 2019.
Ready? 125.
Here's the man who's led the league in rushing twice in 3 seasons, Ezekiel Elliott. Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's second down. And a peek now at the offense for Tampa Bay.
And we take a long look at Ezekiel Elliott, who led the league in rushing in 2 out of the last 3 years. Certainly built to handle a huge workload. He led the league in total touches a season ago.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. From the shotgun, again to Elliott. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know, you know better than I, he has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
Hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down.
Now, how about that? Defensive coordinator perfectly in sync, dials up a blitz, and the man in the middle, he's the one who gets home.
Big Mike.
Big Mike.
The punt team on now as Pinion sends this one away. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. And they'll be led out by the man running the show, Charles, their quarterback.
And what's a quarterback's best friend?
Balance?
I think you're right. I agree with you. You know, a lot of guys would say great receiver, right? A terrific offensive line. But I agree with you, balance, because if you can run the ball effectively, that just opens things up for guys who want to throw it and gives you easier passing lanes and easier coverages to read.
And they said balance will be a focus in this one.
Yeah, they don't want it all just heaped on his shoulders, I don't believe. I think they want to make sure they take some of the pressure off.
They'll run it now out of the gun. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a 3rd and about 4 for a 1st. The starting 11 defensively for Tampa Bay.
Jonathan Cyprien didn't have a big name coming into the league, but people know who he is now. A very fast center fielder of a safety.
From the gun on 3rd down. Sims, and that will be incomplete.
And 3rd down is a key down in any game you play. And 3rd down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Now the Buccaneers offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession and try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
10 yards there and a Buccaneer first down. For Zeke, what a first 3 years he's had in the NFL. Last year, his second rushing title, 1,434 yards. Not as many as 1,631 that he had as a rookie, but still his yards per game average was the best in the National Football League. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They keep on the ground with Elliott. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. Partner, your thoughts on this D-line?
I love a unit that can control the run and get after the passer. This is an all-around terrific defensive front. Hard to move the ball against them on the ground, and then when you want to throw it, look out. Here they come after the quarterback.
On 2nd down, Elliott. And an alley to run. Ezekiel Elliott going to take it the distance. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Ezekiel Elliott, 65 yards, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
So the drive there, they went 80 yards in 3 plays. And it culminates in a touchdown run by Ezekiel Elliott. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. This one taken from the 7. And he'll take this across the 25. A couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game. And that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
The threat of a second straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. Now Sims. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Oh, my goodness. Was that a defensive back that got to him with the pressure?
Oh, look at the former defensive back. You're all smiles up here.
I hope everybody can hear my smile on that play.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. This is taken at the 18. 62 yards on the punt that time. Wow. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. On the NFL scoreboard, an update from Foxborough. And an early advantage in that one for the Giants. Eli Manning, a first quarter touchdown pass in that one. Winston and the Bucs take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. They start on the ground with Elliott, and he'll just plow right into a host of tacklers. Nothing there at all, and it'll be 2nd and 10. Pretty effective blitz there to stop the draw play right in its tracks.
And actually, when they blitz, draw play is supposed to work very well. You're supposed to have them bypass the runner, and he slips past them. But they put their eyes in the right place, took away all the creases, and slowed him down.
Ezekiel Elliott gonna take it the distance. 20, 10, touchdown, Tampa Bay. Ezekiel Elliott with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Bucs get the quick strike touchdown. And a pair of rushing touchdowns now for him in the first quarter.
And I'm liking what I'm seeing from his big guys up front because they're winning the leverage game. How many times we talk about low man wins, right? Move the defensive front aside, create those gaps and holes. He's found his way through them for 2 touchdowns.
And after both of those touchdowns, he went right up to that O-line and hit each of them on the helmet. He recognizes
That's
them.
a smart man. You know what else he should do? If this continues, take them all to dinner.
And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
On 1st down, nothing opening up really on the running play. Give him maybe a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. And Ndamukong Suh makes the tackle.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on 1st down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
Here we go. 60 Pittsburgh.
Now a handoff here to his running back. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that's going to make it 4th down. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
Heading back out there, a look at Peyton Barber. And we get a glance here, Charles, at his 2 touchdown runs.
And, partner, have you ever noticed that when someone scores a 2nd time, they have a little bit of extra pep in their step? It's always, you know, they're always fired up to score. But when you get in twice, it's almost like they're thinking, this could be the start of something really.
Ready up.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, that could really put him in command. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things has gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Now it's the backup Gabbert. He's got White here. And he'll be out of bounds up past the 10-yard line. It's a gain of 5. And that'll force upon him a 3rd and 14. 3rd and long for Gabbert. That'll be caught by Jordan Leggett, his tight end. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. A big pickup there, 18 yards and a Buccaneer first.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than 1 tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. Off the play fake, Gabbert. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 42. And he'll return this ball across midfield to the 46. 7-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
Going to give this time to the tailback. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, it's almost a tendency breaker.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 14 yards, good for a Cowboy first down.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
They'll run it now out of the gun. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
I know you felt that way.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 9. 2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 11 yards and a Cowboy first down. First down now, but the clock continues to move.
Mike 51, Mike 51. Here we go, D, get off the field. 51, Mike 51.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. They'll run it now out of the gun. And, boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. And forthcoming, a field goal try for the Cowboys. From the right hash at a bit of a tight angle. And his kick here is good. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So they do get to 3 points before they hit halftime. Something to build on, maybe.
Yeah, go ahead and raise the banner, right? Wave the flag. That's good. Got points. And now, as you said, they've got something to build on as they get ready for the second half.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Getting set to go here, we see Blaine Gabbert march back out onto the field. He has not had the start to this game that he envisions here in the second quarter. He's struggling a little bit. But, hey, they're in the lead right now. So kind of what's going on in his head, do you think, Charles?
I think that's what he has to keep in mind. Winning the ball game. It's not going the way he wants in terms of his own play. Oh, yeah, that's right. Winning the ball.
Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. Past the 20. 10. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Peyton Barber. 76 yards as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead.
Heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Here's Gay now to add the extra point. And it's 21-3. Well, I'm not sure if they drew that play up to score, but it scored indeed. One play on the ground and into the end zone for 6. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Here's the Dallas offense now, heading back out onto the field. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down. And it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
So we are halfway through here in the final week of the preseason as we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. One more half of football to get through before we say goodbye to the 2019 preseason. All 32 teams in action tonight. Then everyone will be required to cut down to 53 by 4 Eastern on Saturday. And we get it all started 1 week from tonight. The Packers and Bears from Soldier Field.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll Elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Out come the Cowboys now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. They'll run it now out of the gun. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a third and about 4.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. And some room to roam now. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
So from the 36 now, first and 10. So following the interception, here's Gabbard. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Watson. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. It's a gain of 16, first down Tampa Bay. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. This quarterback now 3 out of 5 since taking over as he's given his guys a first down. From the gun, Gabbard. That's into the hands of the tight end, Leggett. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. A 20-yard touchdown as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead. Gay is on for the point after.
And this is what coaches talk about, never being satisfied. No matter what the lead, always trying to increase it. You never know what can happen in this NFL.
Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. And now here come the Cowboys. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. This thrown quickly out to Jones. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. The Bucs with an extra defender now in the secondary here on third down. Now back to throw. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 39. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Now Gabbard finds his man, Watson, over the middle. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
25, check 25, check 25.
On 2nd down, Barber. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
They'll try and run here with Barber. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage.
How about the fellas with the stars on the side of their helmets rising up on defense? We always hear about the Cowboys' rushing offense. Their rush defense is pretty good as well, I think, because they're so cohesive. Defensive line, linebackers really work well together.
And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And their lead will swell up to 28. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces them to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you've got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
The punter Pinion now to kick this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone.
Come on, baby. Let's go.
Now the Cowboys offense heads back onto the field. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up.
Yeah.
Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think he might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And it'll be 3rd down. After seeing that, maybe time to go back to some downfield throws here.
Yeah, anything. Change it up because the teams that win, the best teams, they're the ones that make adjustments. Doesn't mean you can't come back to what you thought you could get done. Sometimes when you open things up a little bit, you can get back to what you wanted to do before.
Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. Out now comes the Cowboys punter. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. Call it 46 yards on the punt, just a single yard on the return as he was covered quickly. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you think you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. From the shotgun, it's Gabbert. And that's complete. It's Watson. Accelerating, and off he goes. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. Justin Watson, 75 yards, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. And nothing too crazy there. A quick slant, and then he just had a seam. He found a seam.
And when you hit it on the run like that, and I mean the pass right to the receiver who's already in motion and moving, sometimes he just takes it and runs away from everyone else.
And he ran it into the end zone. And the defense, they've got to adjust there quickly. That's tough on them.
That's really tough because everything was executed well. Ball was out of his hands quickly, into the hands of the receiver, and then he was gone.
Extra point by Gay is up and good. And the lead will swell by 1 more. Following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
Here we go. Here we go.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll be brought down at what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. And that'll do it for the end of the third quarter. You're watching preseason football on EA Sports. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Get it.
They're going to look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The 305-pound Ndamukong Suh fighting the path to the QB there.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Back to throw here. And that is incomplete. Hey, a sidebar worth noting is that preseason cuts have changed. So week 3 that we're in right now, the preseason, I think, what did you say, the roster's going to stay at 90 instead of going down to 75 this year?
That's exactly right, Brandon, because in the past, just what you said, this game here, at the end of week 3, or game 3, you would cut the roster down to 75 and play game 4 just like that. In this case now, though, they're going to be able to keep guys all the way through. So guys who would normally not have a chance to finish out the preseason, they'll get that chance now and get more opportunities to get on tape. This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Out now comes the Cowboys punter. He's been terrific so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. Well, this ball game certainly has gotten a little out of hand. This is normally when they say you got to fill. This is fill time for guys like you and I. But, yeah, to be frank, just a dominating performance. Really impressive what we've seen.
It is, and I'm glad that you went in that direction because otherwise we're going to have to talk about the museum tour we took yesterday.
Which was also impressive.
Which was also very impressive. But this game, how they've done it, offense, defense, special teams, they've put it all together. And I got to tell you, I am beyond impressed by what I've seen from this team.
Once again, it's Barber. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. The 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
The Bucs on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Throwing. Gabbert. He's going to float this one deep right side. And the defense loses him. It's complete. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Justin Watson, 83 yards, as his guys continue to pour it on. And, my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory formation. Take the snap, take the knee, call it a night, call it a game, call it whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
I knew this was over about a minute ago when you took your stat sheet and just flipped it over your shoulder in the trash can.
Yeah, that's similar to the guys cutting tape off right before the game's over. We know this thing's done.
Scoring summary, 3-play drive, and it ends with a touchdown for the Bucs. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. This will be fielded at the 8. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. The Cowboys offense heading back out and ready to go again. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Give him 18 on that one, and it's a Dallas first down. Defensively, you've got the nice lead here in the fourth quarter. You're saying, if they want to get a run of a little over 10 yards, that's okay.
I hear what you're doing there, and I think you're onto something. They've loosened up on defense, so don't get fooled by the nice runs you're getting now. You've got to get bigger plays, possibly think about throwing the football a bit more here.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Carl Nassib, credit him with a sack, and it goes 6. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. They'll run it now out of the gun. They'll take this from the 40 up to the 45 for a gain of 5.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. A very anemic. 1 for 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. Back to throw. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off near the 44.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
On the ground, it's Barber to start the drive. And he sheds a tackle. Now he's got some space. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end, and he'll be out of bounds as he gets it down to the 30 there.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down.
Double tight, guys, double tight. 4 down. Alert. Ready.
A carry for Barber, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. The 25-yard line is what they need here. This is 3rd down. Gabbert to throw it. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty. And it's 4th down. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
The punter Pinion now to kick this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Here again comes the captain of this offense, leading his crew back out there now. So far, this has to feel like a horrible dream for him. He's thrown more completions to the other team than he has to his. 3 interceptions.
Now, this will test him mentally. This is going to test his mettle and test his fortitude, because once you've thrown those 3, you start to feel sorry for yourself. But you can't do that. There's more football to be played. I was talking with Jason Garrett, the coach of the Cowboys, and he mentioned at one point Tony Romo threw 5 interceptions in a game, but turned out to be one of the better games he played because he rallied down the stretch and took him to victory.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 11 yards and a Cowboy first down.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10.
Here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Defensively, a solid response after giving up back-to-back first downs.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run in the pass. But in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right, it might go to them in this game.
I like that, MVU. Well done.
And they give this time to the tailback. And he's taken down inside the 30. Give him 10 there, good enough for a Cowboy first down.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success.
Set. 10-2 stop. Topper. Check three. Shoot.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
We own them.
And he'll give it here to his running back. Back-to-back 1-yard runs here, so that leaves them with a 3rd down and 8. The Cowboys going to use their 2nd timeout now as they get it with 26 seconds to go in the football game. And the Bucs with an extra defender in the secondary now on 3rd down. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. The Cowboys signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 22 ticks to go in the 4th. And this one is going to just tuck into the bottom left corner as he gets it to go. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score. And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
The Buccaneers in good field position here to start out. 1st and 10 at the 40. Gabbert down to a knee, and that'll do it.
But I...
Right over there. Yeah. Mike, 58, right there. Watch the run.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say good night from AT&T Stadium.
All right, gentlemen, we made way too many mistakes this week, okay? The coaching staff has gone in. We've simplified the game plan. Let's go out here and
Come on, set. 10, Lobo. Set hot. Set hot. 10, Tuscan. Ready. Down. 60 Pittsburgh. Ready, go. Here we go. 15 Lonnie. 15 Lonnie. Head go. Set. 60 outlaw. Hut, hut. Ready, ready. 60 yards. Hut. Here we go. Set. 91. Ready, ready. Here. Set, go. Set, ready, and read. Set up.
Hey, man, that was great. I mean, you had a great day today. You finally getting it. You're starting to turn the corner, and that's what we like to see as a coaching staff. Show us some more.